offense did overall?
I get started out a little slow. Too many little penalties, like a pre-snap penalties we haven't had for a while. And then I thought I played really well in the middle, second, third, and early part of the fourth, and then kind of couldn't get the first down at the end, and we got stuck inside the 10. So it didn't end great, but I thought the middle was really good. I think we went touchdown, field goal, touchdown, something like that. Had a good stretch there. But it started out a little slow, put some penalties hurt us, some pre-snap, which we haven't had for a while, so we got to fix it.
Jim, how much do you work on situational stuff like that backed up against your goal
A
line?
lot during camp.
Do you?
Lance is big into coming out, like coming out or backed up. So kind of prepared for it. So we have a script for it and prepared for it. And I just had never been, I don't know if I've been caught like inside the one twice,
Right.
like back to back. You know, it's kind of crazy. So I thought I did a good job getting enough yards, but like I said, we were just talking. Those two plays we had, the third down play, were so close to both of them, almost gashing. And then you get in the situation, should you throw it, not throw it? I think we threw it once the first time. Second time, they had 3 timeouts. You're like, hey, if we can get those 3 timeouts to burn, and we came really close, Jen, really close to getting that first down. Wish we would have just helped the defense because they were playing so good that second half. But we work on a lot.
Yeah.
We work on a lot.
How do you balance the idea of let's get the first versus let's take care of it?
Great question. A lot of this communication. Lance is really good with it. So like Lance, I'll talk. I'm like, Lance, what do you? If I have a thought, I'm like, hey, he doesn't like surprises, which they should. So like Lance, I'm thinking about throwing here. You good? He might say no. Let's run it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's really good. So it's not like I'm not like, well, what? No, I'm like that's whatever you want. I'm in, all in. So that's the communication is really good, and I think he does a great job of feeling like how the game's going, how the defense is playing, moments like that. So in that case, we're like, hey, let's try and get those 3 timeouts burned. I'm like, okay. I was more disappointed we were so close. It was really close to watch the tape, like, ooh. But, you know, at least we got him burned 3 timeouts.
How are you deciding from one game to the next, or even from one series to the next, whether you're going to rotate those left guard and right tackle spots? Because it's changed a bit recently.
Daryl kind of has a feel for it. So he kind of goes, he has kind of a preset thought in his head, try to get him in at a certain time. Then after that, it's kind of a feel thing, really, realistically for Daryl. We trust him 100%, so how he feels, and we agree there and we'll talk afterwards about it. Maybe I should have done this, could have done more of this, or whatever, but he's really good, so let Daryl roll.
Just the challenges the Texas Tech defensive line posed. What does it kind of look like for the offensive line?
A very good challenge. They're really good. I think what's good, we played some good teams, obviously, up to this point. Probably the best D-line we played probably up to this point was Missouri. So it's kind of a good indicator, like at least you play somebody who's really ultra talented up front and has some guys who are potential next level type guys up there. And they're differently built because their DNs maybe a little bit bigger. These guys are exceptionally fast off the edge. Their D tackles are terrific, and the linebacking core is outstanding. So the front, what do you call it, the front 6, 7, 8 are terrific. But they're really fast off the edge. So you really got to freaking control it. You try to do your best to control those guys and not let them kind of wreck the whole game. That's kind of the difference. But I think it's good the speed of Missouri, and like in Cincinnati, you see them. You know, they played well last week against. They're good. And we've had different challenges just in terms of front structure, a little bit like that. You know, so at least they have a little idea of like, hey, this is the speed and the force that's coming at you.
What have you seen from Zeke in practice that's made you feel comfortable throwing him in game settings?
Both of them really. I've seen them since fall, spring really. Like they're both athletic kids, physical runners. Cole's a little more this way. Zeke's got a little more wiggle to him, but there's a lot of confidence level. Really, the thing is, I'm not worried. It's like almost when you do the wildcat stuff. Are you comfortable with someone else taking a snap at a certain time in the game? That's always kind of here on this. So they get so many reps during practice that I don't feel bad. I feel great about it. So then once Daniel got nicked up a little bit, we're like, hey, how can we keep getting our best people on the field? You know, we think we can get us some yards and have a little. We kind of we do with Jason a little different because Jason was at that point I was playing some receiver and all of a sudden Jalen got hurt again. You know, that got done. But a little bit of that ballpark, like, hey, you don't want this kid to stand on the sideline the whole time. If we give him just a few, like, and we had a little package, so we kind of hopefully try to carry some plays for both those guys. And then game is kind of sometimes how the game goes dictates if you're going to use them or not. But they're ready for them.
So when you do that, are you trying to also maybe preserve some hits that Jalen?
A little bit. That's always an added bonus of that. And then sometimes quarterback run game is difficult to defense. It's a little another look for him. Sometimes difficult to defend because you get an extra blocker out there too. You know, obviously. the way we do some things, but it was good to get those. It is good to kind of like not let him. If you can save a couple hits on him, that's terrific, and get a chance to really be pretty explosive with those two kids.
How has the rest of the tight end group responded to Deshaun being out for the season?
Really, I thought they did a really good job in bouncing back. I think they kind of said, here we go, we're gonna get more reps, because obviously you saw Bowden and Carson get more reps. Lane got few in that 3 tight end type package stuff, but it really added more to Bowden and Carson, and I thought they performed really well. And I think there's some stuff we kind of challenged them in the run game, the physicality part. So I was so excited. The best part of the whole game today, we scored on, I think it was the second touchdown we scored. Carson was so fired up because he had a big block inside, like 2-yard line. He was like, Carson's not the most emotional. Like he's like, I'm like, all right. So happy for him because he's such a great kid, and he's going to be pretty darn good. He's pretty darn good. But seeing him be able to do that and get excited about that, I think we challenged him. Luke did a great job getting those guys ready to go, and like I said, because of how we practice, those kids get a lot of reps.
Is there any sort of like off-field role that you envision for Deshaun right now, or are you sort of letting him go through his recovery?
Kind of let him go through his recovery, especially, or I just kind of give him a chance to. I feel so bad for it. You just feel so bad for anybody, let alone guys that are older when those things happen. So just kind of let him kind of catch his breath. He's always, when he's around, he's great with those guys. So he's kind of like that leader type, in the program. So it's good to when he pops his head around for sure.
How much has it meant to have Cam Pickett back healthy?
It was good. It's good to see it. It was good to be able to use him. He felt like he was got to the end of probably the healthiest he's been since game 1. So it's good to get him back out there and do some things with him like we do with Emmanuel. So it's good to be able to take some of the maybe plays off of him too and give different looks. The defense just can't always zone in on, hey, Emmanuel's there, or now you put Cam back there and you can kind of move around. So it was really fun to see. And he did really good things when he had the ball in his hand, so it's great. And a great catch on the vertical too. I was really excited about that. It looked very explosive.
Because of his injuries, do you have, you don't have to share any of it, do you have a lot of stuff that hasn't been unleashed with Pickett in mind?
No, I'd say no. I think because of the depth in that room and the people you can move around, it's kind of, we just kind of keep putting different people in those spots. There might have been some plays where you're like, God, this is kind of for camp, but then it's a really good play. We're going to let someone else, be it Doug, be it Levi, or Keenan. The good thing is with the amount of packages we can throw out there, we can move we can move guys with Canny, and now we move those guys all over the place.
Jim, when you got back and graded the film, what'd you think about the offensive line overall?
I thought it was solid. I'm trying to think. Bryce Foster, I thought played really. They all played well. That Bryce I think Darryl believe like Bryce had his best game, so it's good to see him because he's such a good player. So I think that was probably the highlight, but the key part of that deal was him just playing really well and being physical and displacing some people. I thought he showed some. I mean, heck, we almost scored on a quarterback sneak, which is crazy. I hadn't done that for a while, from like a 13. But I thought they did a good job in those moments, especially in that stretch of second and third quarter, of really getting some displacement. And saw some pretty good runs. So I think they graded all out pretty well.
Deshaun with 3 touchdowns. I guess maybe kind of obvious what makes him such a good choice around the goal line.
What does make him a good
Yeah.
choice? He's built. It's nice to have those guys like him. They're all kind of him, Devin. Last year, Daniel, all kind of built the same kind of physical kids that are strong and can, but because you're not going to block everybody down there. You're going to have to run into somebody, and being able to be physical with those guys are all those guys that can take on somebody and get moving forward. So it's great to have that because you're going to have somebody in the hole.
When you look at the offensive line, just where do you think it's taken the biggest step forward over the last 2-3 weeks?
I feel like we're getting more. Darryl will say we feel like we're getting a little more vertical in the run game, a little more push. I think we're kind of figuring out too. Sometimes throughout the season, kind of figure out what we're best at, and kind of say, okay, we're better at this. And every year is different. Sometimes you think you know, and then you don't know, or something changes throughout the game for a multitude of reasons. So I think we're getting comfortable with what they are excelling at. So I think that's the key is those guys. I just feel like they're gelling together, which is obviously they're staying healthy, which is good. And I think we're getting more vertical push. And I think they've done a really good job, which will be critical this week, obviously, in pass protection. People always kind of shy away. I'm like, I joke with Jalen. I'm like, we took I think 2 sacks last 2 games. They're both on nakeds. Like plays you're not supposed to get sacked. I think one of Jalen ran out, but it was like a yard. I think the one in the first quarter was a naked that he tried to pull up on and tried to make a run. So I think what kind of goes under underlying currents, those guys done a really good job at pass protection. We obviously try to get the ball out fast, but I think they've done a really good job. All season, but let alone lately, they've done a really good job.
Anything else, Coach Zebrowski? All right, thanks everyone.
It's quick.